Okay, RRSP season comes to a close on Thursday, February the 29th. So we have the president of Life Coach Financial, Renee Rebelo, with some final advice. We can talk RRSPs, but just like talking overall, because it is tax season, so you're busy right now, getting so many calls, so many questions. What's the theme that you're receiving this year, Renee?
Tax savings. Everyone is looking for ways to save on tax. So whether it be RSPs, whether it be the first-time home savings account, you know, and a lot of things that are coming across my desk right now are life insurance, and you know, transitioning and helping the next generation because you know they're having a hard time buying houses, and then how do you afford the mortgage, and you know, things like that. So there's a couple things that people can do, even with regards to RSPs. You can look at, you know, take your program. Right, I'm not a big RSP lover. However, I do like free money, and so you know we talked about maybe the RSP slider. So a lot of the tax programs will have something called an RSP slider, and you can put it in and say, hey, if I put in 10,000, oh, I'm going to get 10,000 back on my taxes. That's free money.
What about using a line of credit?
Absolutely. If you're going to use the slider to find out how much you're going to get back, you know, if you're putting in 10,000, 20,000, and you're getting back, you know, 10 or 15, then you'll owe 5,000. It's definitely worthwhile, especially if you haven't contributed over the year. So, you know, using the slider to kind of judge that. The other thing you can do is in the first 60 days, if you're looking at buying a house and you want to put a little bit more down, you know, use the slider to figure out, hey, if I put 20 grand into an RSP and I get back 18 or 15, that's another amount of money you can put towards the down payment of the house.
You said you're not a huge fan, you're a fan of free money. Who's not? Not a huge fan of RRSPs. Why is that?
Just because a lot of times the wrong people will buy them if they're in a lower tax bracket. And so let's say you're in a 20%, 30% tax bracket, and then in retirement you're going to be in 20%, like you didn't save anything except for the growth. You know, it's better that you are in a 40% tax bracket or higher and utilize the tax savings, and then when you're in retirement you're in 20 or 30, so then you save an additional 10%. So you're not paying the government the extra tax on the money that grew tax-free or deferred over the years that it was in there.
What are you seeing from your clients, or even your clients and their kids? Getting their kids set and ready to go, because at this point affording a house, it almost is the bank of mom and dad to really help them out.
It is, and it's kind of interesting because years ago, I was 19, 20, I bought my first house, and my grandfather came to me, he's like, oh, buy life insurance on me. I'm like, what? That's morbid. And in hindsight, looking back, that would have been genius, right? Because he died when I was in my 30s, and I would have had my house paid for. So it's time to start thinking outside the box a little bit, you know.
Legal ideas.
Grandpa had, yes, legal, definitely. Ideas that weren't traditional, right? So for me back then it was morbid, however, it was genius looking back, right? So if there's ways that you can talk to a financial planner and try to get outside of the box ideas, you know, life insurance is coming back on par. TFSAs, people have maxed out their TFSAs, and they're going back to looking at life insurance as an option to plug money in, because on death, that money gets paid to your beneficiaries tax-free, and you can actually defer the tax inside the growth of the life insurance. So there's a lot of other strategies out there that, you know, a financial planner can really look at for you and think outside the box.
We're running out of time, but my daughter's in grade 4. They're talking about money in grade 4, which is so important. And it's just like that family wealth meeting. Like for so long, like money wasn't discussed in the home, and it becomes that uncomfortable thing. It has to be, doesn't it, in this day and age?
It absolutely does, you know, and it also teaching them at 4 years old how to save, right? Oh, you got $10, take half, and we're going to put it in a savings account, and the other half you can spend as you wish. So my kids did that, and when they hit their 20s, you know, they bought condos, they had all this money. They're like, what am I saving for? I'm like, you'll find out.
But they look at their friends, they might not be doing the same because their mom is not the president of Life Coach Financial. Renee Rebelo, love having you on the show. More Morning Live coming up on your Tuesday right after this.